I have much cars, or I have many cars, or I have some cars. Hello everyone, my name is Ehab and this is English with Ehab. The topic for today is going to be quantifier. So, what is a quantifier? Well, a quantifier is something that you put in front of the noun to give an idea about the amount or the quantity. That's where we get the name quantifier comes. It comes from the word quantity. Quantity means how much. Now, this kind of is related to another lesson that I did, which was on articles. Remember, a, an, they basically mean one thing. Now, a lot of times we are talking about a noun and it is countable and it's more than one thing. So, at that particular point, you can say something like a number. I have 2 cars. I have 2 cats. But a lot of times when we are speaking or when we are writing, we don't want to use numbers. We don't want to necessarily give an exact amount. And that's where this lesson is going to be helpful for you, because instead of giving a number, you can use quantifiers. But the thing that makes quantifiers a little bit tricky is you have to be careful, because we have some quantifiers that we can use for count nouns, which are only nouns that we can count. We have some quantifiers that we can use for non-count nouns, and then we have some that we can use for both. So it's all a little bit tricky, but hopefully after today's lesson it becomes a little bit more understandable. And again, if you have any questions about that, you can leave a comment down below and I'll answer that question as soon as possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the board and let's take a look at some examples. Okay, so again, if you can count the noun, you have to put something in front of it. And again, this is kind of the lesson that we talked about before, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. A dog is cute. You can say my dog is cute, his dog is cute. We can put something else there. But again, I cannot just say dog is cute. That would be incorrect. Now, if you guys do not want to use this, no articles, then what you can do is make it plural and say dogs are cute. Now, you can even give another kind of an answer, and you can use quantifiers. A few dogs are cute. Many dogs are cute. Several dogs are cute. Now, these are not the only ones, but these are common quantifiers that we use for countable nouns, a noun which I can count. Non-count is different. For example, information. Information is a noun, but it is non-count. I can't count it. So, we don't put anything in front of it. We don't say a or an, because again, that's one. So, information is important. But if I want to give you an idea about the amount, then I can use a quantifier. Much information is important. A little, a great deal of information is important. I can use all of those as quantifiers for non-count nouns. Now, we have a third group, and this one for a lot of people is very, very helpful, because you can use it for both. You can use it for count, you can use it for non-count. So, the thing to remember, if you guys are going to use it for countable, okay, you have to make sure that you make it plural. Okay, for example, I need some, we don't say dog, you have to say dogs with an S. Now, I need some. Non-count, we don't change because it's only one form. I need some information. I need a lot of books. We don't say I need a lot of book. No, should be books. I need a lot of knowledge. I need plenty of chairs. Or I need plenty of furniture. I need plenty of coffee, which is non-count, or I need plenty of, or some, or a lot of cups of coffee. So, try to remember these three here. These are the ones, they're not all of them, but they are some of the most common ones that we use in the English language when we write and when we speak as well. All right, let's go ahead and get to the conclusion. I'm going to show you some examples of sentences. There's going to be a blank, and we're going to see what we remember. Which quantifiers can we use in those sentences? And again, it's possible that you have more than one answer. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the board. Okay, on the board right behind me are 10 sentences. There are blanks inside of the sentences, and as we go one by one, we have to try to figure out what quantifier or quantifiers, because most of these you can probably put more than one answer. You can have 2, 3, you can really use any quantifier that you want as long as it's grammatically correct. Now, the key thing to focus on when we look at sentence by sentence is what I've underlined right here. Okay, this is really the goal when you are creating a sentence and you want to use a quantifier. You have to figure out, is that noun countable? Countable means there's one, but then there could be 2 and 3. For example, chair, 1 chair. I could say 2 chairs, 3 chairs. Now, air, like outside, breathing air, that's non-count. Okay, we don't say airs, we just say air. And that's it. Now, as soon as you figure out, and this is not easy, this takes time, you have to figure out if it is countable or non-count. Once you figure that out, then you can start using the choices which I laid out in the previous board for count and non-count quantifiers. So, I'm going to go one by one, okay? Number 1, you need patience. Patience is non-count, so we can just leave it alone. You need patience, or you can use some quantifiers. You need much or a little patience. You can also use some of the quantifiers which we can use for both count and non-count. You need some patience. 2, he has desks. Okay, desks is countable. So, he has many desks. I can say he has a few desks. If you guys want to use those quantifiers, which can be used for both, he has some or plenty of desks. So if you look at number 2, you have so many different choices if it's countable. Let's get blank fresh air. Again, air is non-count. So we can just simply say, let's get fresh air, or let's get some fresh air. Let's get a little fresh air. Now, let's take a look at the next 3 examples. Or the next 2 actually. Let's get fresh apples countable. 1 apple, 2 apples. So let's get many. Let's get a few. Let's get some. Again, you got quite a few options there. But as soon as I say fruit, it's kind of weird, but in English, fruit is considered non-count. We don't say fruits. So let's get fresh fruit. You can just simply leave it alone, or you can say let's get much or a little. Or if you want to use some, that would be okay as well. Lisa has businesses. Okay? Again, you guys can always leave them alone. Okay? Even if it's plural like that, he has desks, that's okay. Let's get fresh apples. That's okay. But what I'm trying to show you is that you can use something else there. It's the same thing. Business is count. One business, two businesses. So Lisa has a few. Lisa has many. Lisa has much. I'm sorry, not much. You could say Lisa has some businesses. Plenty of businesses. Again, a lot of options there. Number 7, he drives cars. Again, that's okay. Or he drives many cars. They drink water. Water we cannot count. So they drink a little water. Or they drink plenty of water. Plenty of we use for non-count. But if I were to say bottles of water, that's different. Now Sarah buys many bottles of water. You can still say plenty of. Okay? Because when we say plenty of, you can use it for both. And the last one, I made soup. Soup is non-count. So we can leave it as is, or we can say I made a little soup. I made much soup. You can also say I made some soup. I hope you guys learned something today. Again, this is confusing. It's not easy. As I tell students, try to use the quantifiers that you're comfortable with. Keep in mind, things like some, a lot, we can use those for count or non-count. You just have to kind of look at the noun. Anyways, please like the channel and subscribe.